I wanted to make a video um, about something I've really been thinking about a lot lately, because of Trump and what's going on in the world right now. My father came up to me when I was like 9.5, I think, when I was living with them. And he had his hand behind his back and he handed me a gun. And he said, take the gun. He had his hand behind his back. And I just put my hand out like this and he laid the gun in my hand and he said, hold it right and shoot me. And I never held the gun correctly. I just held it in my hand like my little tiny hand, this frickin' .357 revolver, or freaking big handgun, and my little ass hand. And he's like, hold it right. And I said, I don't want to kill you, Father. And I just held it there. And he said, hold it right and shoot me. And I said, I don't want to kill you, Father. And he got the most frustrated, upset look on his face. He took the gun out of my hand that I still had like this, my little hand, with his hand still behind his back, and he freaking took the gun and went over to the kitchen booth that he had built and sat down and put the gun down behind him and told me to sit down across from him. And he said some bullshit. But for me, the reason that this is so big for me at this point in my life is because, you know, Trump's campaign has used Nazi slogans, and other Republican conservative politicians have commented about it. And we know that Hitler murdered the schizophrenics and a lot of other people, which is wrong, and I understand that. But this is about how this is personal to me in my life. And because, like, my father, Christian Republican father, that I would wait for him to get home every day to beat me, and wish that he would not get home until later, till he would be too tired to do it. And now, like, I'm literally thinking that if Trump gets in and Project 2025 does what it wants to do, I'm going to end up catching a bullet in the back of the head and being on my knees and falling into a mass grave. My own father did that to me. You know, nothing came of it, but I'm smart enough to understand what that situation was. And that was my father that did that. And Project 2025 and Trump and what I know about white people, because I've been around a lot of them in my life, I'm literally concerned that I am dealing with emotions of what my dad did to me when I was 9.5 years old. And, you know, I didn't have schizophrenia back then. At that point with living with him, I had taken some derivative of Ritalin, which he was really upset about, and he's made me stop taking it, and I wasn't allowed. He took me off the drugs, and, you know, I wasn't allowed to have sugar. I wasn't allowed to see my mom for 2.5 years after I was there, which was devastating for me. Every night I laid in bed and cried every night. I actually developed this thing. My mom would, like, come in at night before I went to bed and, like, rub my back for a few minutes and talk to me. And to this day, I catch myself laying in bed and I would move my foot a little to, like, feel it's something that I developed living at my dad's, to feel the comfort, and something about rubbing my foot on the sheet like that made me feel a little better as I fell asleep. But every night I cried thinking I would never get to see my mom again, something would happen to her. And, you know, the role I played at my father's house was If he could have had me live in a doghouse outside and do every chore and all the labor that needed to be done, and if I did it wrong in any way, shape, or form, like if I'd come home every day and pick up the trash out of the yard, and like there would be like a piece of trash and mulch, and someone would walk on the mulch and it would get overturned, and you would see the piece of paper, and my dad would find it when he got home, and he'd bam across the face like that, and you missed a piece of paper, and clean those boards and all that, and I would sit there and think, like, I was waiting for the 2 years to be up, 2.5 years, and I would go see her, and I wouldn't like think I was trapped in that world where I was second citizen to his new family, and he did stuff like he did to me. Like one day, there was a day that I managed to be so perfect that he couldn't find a reason to hit me. So at the end of the day, it was 6 o'clock. We had got done for the day, and he hadn't hit me yet that day. Like, I was literally trying, like I tried really hard that day and saw that he didn't hit me. So I tried to make him not get hit that day. And what he did was, after we were done working in the garage, he fucking pulled his hand back out for no reason and just backhanded me. And said, he's like, we had a good day, but I just wanted you to remember where you are so you don't screw up. And Trump and Project 2025 has kind of made me start reliving a lot of this stuff. It's specifically my father trying to create a situation where he could shoot me. And I really kind of think that Project 2025, they're fascist, and they have a really messed up agenda. It's the way I perceive the world, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. I understand a lot of things that other people don't understand, and when I talk to them about them, they don't know anything. But I'm saying I've researched my whole life, I've studied things, and I can do a lot of stuff that other people will never be able to do in their lives. And there's things that other people can do that I will never be able to do in my lives, but I understand a lot about how things work and why people do the things they do. And Project 2025, Trump, these fascists have brought me back to reliving, my dad doing that to me, and it sucks. And I hope that they all go to prison for their bullshit. Yes.